Hello, my friends. We are going to rank the MCU movies today, because why not? There's something that I feel like I can rank effectively myself, and I know how I feel about them. Watched them all a few times, at least, if not more than a few. So, let's jump into it. I didn't make this list, so if there's missing ones, it's someone else's fault. Okay, and they're not in order, of course. Maybe they're in... Yeah, it looks like they're in alphabetical order, actually. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. They're not just fucking random, so... Looks like we're beginning with Black Panther. It's a good way to start. Black Panther is not only an A+, but an S. It is a very strong film. It is not just strong filmmaking-wise and story-wise, character-wise, but also it is incredibly important for the African-American community, and just the Black community as well, not just African-Americans, but very important representation for Black children as well. Seeing someone like them on screen. Important. I don't need to say that. Y'all know it. Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel's not the strongest one. I feel like it's a very mid-tier. There's a lot they could have done with it and a lot of directions they could have gone that they didn't, and it kind of fell flat in some places. And I'm going to place that here at a solid B, I think. Definitely better than the worst ones, but it's not the upper echelon, in my opinion. I remember I came out of that movie feeling like, who edited this? Like, it didn't feel put together very well. And the editing was, like, distracting. And the editing should not be distracting in a movie. Yeah. This one is that Far From Home? I can't even tell what that is. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, no, this is Civil War, right? Let's take a look at movie posters here. Make sure I got this right. That's not the usual Civil War poster, if it is Civil War. It has Spider-Man on it. Let's go with another one, and we'll figure it out later. So Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, there's issues, but I appreciate that their third act wasn't their standard third act, and I also appreciate that it was probably the only movie I watched in 3D and actually enjoyed the 3D. It was mind-boggling, insane stuff. That said, cool graphics does not make a good movie. I think there's good things about it, and there's bad things about it, but I think there's more good than there is bad. Overall, I think it's fun, and I'm going to give this one maybe an A-. Iron Man. This is the first Iron Man. See, if I were to give this an A+, which I'm not going to, it would actually end up being an S, because it's a very special movie. But it's special in that it started something important. But it's not that good. None of the first phase movies were very good. The first two acts, pretty good. Third act, awful. Real bad third act. So I'm going to stick this at maybe a B+. Yell at me in the comments. Iron Man 2. This is a solid C. No. Yeah, C. There's, like, a couple good things about it. Like, Hammer is great. It's the best I got. Oh, and my board. I need my board. Thor 1. See, Thor 1, personally, I'm a weird one here. I feel like Thor 1 is actually one of the better ones from the first phase. It's just, like, different. Certainly not perfect, but better. I'm going to place this one at probably a B+ as well. Iron Man, if it were not as special, it probably wouldn't be getting the B+, but like getting like a B-, to be honest. Yeah. Thor Ragnarok is an A+. That movie, like, I understand some people are like, the comedy undercuts the drama, but it's not a drama. I mean, yeah, there are certain things, but you have to take each movie as it is. This is a fucking comedy movie. First and foremost, it's a comedy. You can tell because like a world explodes and a rock guy makes a joke about it. It's the comedy. Like you gotta take it for what it is. The Incredible Hulk. That is probably a C plus. Yeah, slightly better than Iron Man 2, IMO. This here is Thor: The Dark World. That's an F. That's a very bad movie. I don't even have anything to say about it. It's just real bad. I think there was one like interesting action scene in it, and that doesn't make a good movie. Like, especially that movie. Let's see here. Civil War. So I have a very contentious relationship with Civil War. I find it marginally enjoyable to watch, and there's some good stuff in it, but I find the entire premise to be just completely bonkers and doesn't make any sense. Yeah, down to the fact that like they saved a bunch of people. They saved an entire city, country, I don't know, in Age of Ultron, and a couple people died, and now a black woman blames Tony for her son's death. Or they could have not gone and he would have still died. That spawns everything that Tony goes through in this. Bullshit. I fucking think it's the stupidest thing they've ever done in the MCU. So I very much struggle with this movie. There's a lot of really good stuff in it. The action's off the hook. It's crazy good. First appearance of Spider-Man is great. The fight between Cap and Tony and Winter Soldier, that was great. Probably one of my favorite fights. I legit thought that like they were going to cut Tony's head off with the shield. I knew it wouldn't happen in my heart, but almost kind of hoped it would. Because like, how the fuck would you do that? Anyway, I'm putting this one at a B as well, because like I think a lot of people would put it up at like A plus, and I just don't feel that way about it. I feel like when I watch it, there's some enjoyment I have through it. Like, oh, that's so cool. There's such good stuff in this. But then I come out of the movie like, that was so fucking stupid. I get so frustrated with it. So, yeah, Age of Ultron, not a very good movie. I'm gonna put that at C plus. Loaded with issues and not very interesting. Has some fine action. Overall, what they do with Scarlett Johansson and everything is just not very good. And you know, I at this point I was done with Tony like fucking stuff up, and I just kind of wanted to see it go somewhere else, which never happened. But yeah, let's see. So Ant-Man. Okay, well I feel like Ant-Man is a pretty good film. It's very isolated. It's very small. I appreciate that. Wow, this is a little bit more spread out than I thought it would be. It's a funny movie. Low stakes for the most part. Just fun, exactly what it needed to be. I'm very curious what it would have turned out as if the original director stayed on, but it didn't happen. So. I think this is Guardians of the Galaxy 1. That is an A+, solid film. How someone could not love that, I don't know. All about misfits finding family. I think everybody can sort of feel connected to that story. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Such a just base level, this is a superhero movie kind of movie. That one's gonna go to, I think it's better than the Hulk and Age of Ultron. Yeah. What am I looking at here? Okay. So we got Infinity War here. That's an A+. Infinity War was astounding to me when I saw it. Obviously, I was incredibly invested at the time. And the only major issue I had with it was that I as a film fan, stay up to date with everything going on in the meta of film. So I knew that there was a Spider-Man movie coming in like a year, and there's another Black Panther in the works. So like these characters aren't dead. So like it was hard to feel like, oh, these characters are gone, I'm so sad. It's no, they're gonna get them in the next movie. It's gonna be fine. And I think the big thing was like, okay, well, at the end of the next movie, what exactly is going to happen? Who isn't going to be there? Who is going to be there? And whatnot. But it's still just like the effect that the snapping was supposed to have didn't really have it for me. Other than that, I thought the film was a wild ride, a ton of fun. 3 third acts in a row that were interesting, and yeah. Then we came to Endgame. When I first saw Endgame, I was a little bit underwhelmed. But on my second and third rewatch, I found myself more invested. And I don't know if it was just the mood I was in the first time I watched it, or I was like tired or something, but I was able to like soak it in and like really feel the emotional weight of that third act. Yeah. And obviously it's the culmination of just like 10 years of a wild ride, and the amount that they accomplished, not just in Endgame, which was a lot, but over those 10 years is insane, and it's hard not to respect it like that. In fact, I might actually put Endgame as an S. Just for that. Okay, what am I looking at here? This, I believe, is Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3, I like more than most people do. Because I'm a big fan of Shane Black, and it is very much a Shane Black movie. In fact, one of my favorite movies of all time is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Shane Black, written and directed by Shane Black, starring Robert Downey Jr. And seeing them work together again, I love them together. It's great. Yeah, it's very much kind of not an Iron Man film. It was kind of like brought down a notch. I don't really care too much about the whole Mandarin thing, because oh my god, they changed an already like way super racist, stupid enemy. Whatever, I don't care. Change it. Super not invested in that part of it. So there should be Far From Home, which I think is this one. Is that Far From Home? And there should be Homecoming. So I think we're missing Far From Home. This must be Homecoming. I liked Homecoming a lot. It's getting an A. I think it actually is an A+. I always like whenever I watch it, I'm like, man, that was fucking great. It's one of my favorites. And then like I don't watch it for a while. I'm like, I really liked it. But every time I watch it, I always feel like it's one of my favorites. So I'm gonna like trust my gut and put it at an A+. This one's Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is probably one of the best superhero movies ever made. Super good. I mean, there's not much I can say about it other than damn super good. This one, I believe, is the first Captain America. Yeah. The first Captain America was pretty okay. Issues kind of long in the middle. A montage that felt like it shouldn't be there. Some questionable CGI, as all the early ones had. But overall, it just felt a little bit underwhelming. So let's stick this one maybe here. Yeah. So this must be Avengers 1. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like Avengers 1 very much. I definitely like it more than Age of Ultron. And I guess I probably like it around this much. So, B. I fall asleep in it. I don't fall asleep in movies. I fell asleep in it the last 2 times I tried to watch it. I don't know. I find it patently uninteresting. Yeah. This must be Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I quite enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I enjoy stories about parental relationships a lot, which, I mean, I guess that's kind of, the MCU does that a lot, but it's very, very potent in this one. Plus, we get Mantis, I think. Love her. Should know her name if I love her, but she's great and adorable. And I'm gonna put this probably here. I think A-. Not as good as the first one. Highly enjoyable though. I mean, they're all highly enjoyable. But if I were gonna put Far From Home somewhere, I guess it wasn't on the list. Far From Home is probably gonna go probably here as well in the A- range. Actually, no, it'll go here at A. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I can admit there are problems with it, but just like, I have wanted to see Mysterio on screen since 1994 when I saw him on the Spider-Man animated series. And yeah, that didn't really disappoint. The disappointing thing about Spider-Man in the MCU is just kind of the way they turned him into a mini Tony Stark. And it's interesting and different, which I'll give it to them for, but like, it feels kind of anti-Spider-Man, but you can't, we had 2 Spider-Man series already, and they're gone in the past, and we didn't want the same thing again. So they're doing their best, and they did a lot of great things with them. Like, Tom Holland is perfect as Spider-Man. And there's no going back now on what we've got, so yeah. But nevertheless, still super enjoyed them. They kind of capture his personality very well. They just don't capture sort of like the financial situation that Peter Parker had been in the comics, and a lot of like little personal things. They don't touch on the Uncle Ben thing at all, really. Yeah. But I think that's generally okay. I do kind of wish that they didn't turn him into like a miniature Iron Man. But I still love it for what it is. So yes, that is my rank of the MCU movies. Thanks for watching. Love you. Mwah.